Hendigui for Tvs Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. The UN's Independent Commission of Inquiry accuses Israel of war crimes, acclaim Israel rebuffs as biased, citing an anti-Israeli and anti-Semitic agenda. Selangor FC winger Faisal Halim, severely injured in a May acid attack, cheerfully vowed to return to football despite suffering fourth-degree burns during the incident at a Kuala Lumpur shopping centre. Enrollment for the Maritime Studies program at University Technology Sarawak UTS campus in MUKAH opens this year. The United Nations Independent Commission of Inquiry has reported that Israel and its military forces are currently committing war crimes and other violations of international law, a claim that contrasts with Israel's self-description as the most moral country in the world. However, Israel's foreign ministry has rejected these findings as biased and alleges that the commission is influenced by an anti-Israeli and anti-Semitic agenda.
The report, Israel said, has erased the narrative where Israel was portrayed as the victim of decades of attacks by Palestine. It added that the report also filled with false accusations and blood libels against Israel Defense Forces, IDF, whom Israel considers to be the most moral army in the world. However, Israel appears to overlook its roles as the initiator of the conflict since 1948, when the Zionist forces engaged in armed conflicts that led to the displacement of approximately 700,000 Palestinians in what is known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic. Although many conflicts have erupted since then, Israel's actions since 1948, including the establishment of the state and the displacement of Palestinians, have been central to the ongoing tensions and complexities in the region. Currently, Israel's ongoing offensive in the Gaza Strip has resulted in 37,232 deaths, mostly women and children. And it continues unabated despite both UN orders to stop and the ongoing ceasefire talks.
Selangor FC winger Faisal Halim, who was severely injured in an acid attack in May, broke down in tears on Thursday as he vowed to return to football. The popular 26-year-old player suffered fourth-degree burns on his neck, shoulder, hands and chest during the attack at a shopping centre outside Kuala Lumpur on May 5th.
Following the incident, he spent 3 weeks in the hospital and underwent multiple surgeries to treat the burns. Speaking to journalists for the first time since the ordeal, a tearful Faisal expressed his hopes to return to the pitch in the next 1 or 2 months, despite the doctors saying it could take up to 6 months.
Apabila saya ditimpa musibah seperti ini, memang agak sukar untuk diri saya dan keluarga saya. Apa yang saya harap kepada suatu hari ataupun di masa akan datang, saya dapat kembali di atas padang. Sebab keadaan sekarang, saya pun tak tahu saya sama ada boleh kembali dalam bola sepak ataupun tidak. Apa yang saya harap, semua dapat mendoakan saya supaya saya dapat kembali dalam arena bola sepak. Dan saya juga berharap si pelaku akan dapat ditangkap secepat mungkin dan didakwa di mahkamah.
Meanwhile, 2 people were arrested following the attack but were released without any charges. The motive behind the assault remains unclear. Faisal's case is the most serious and high-profile among several crimes committed against 4 top-tier Malaysian footballers in May. However, the incidents are not believed to be connected. Faisal, a well-known Malaysian international, scored an equaliser against South Korea earlier this year, which was voted the best goal at the Asian Cup. Malaysia's domestic football season was set to begin on May 10th, with a curtain raiser between Faisal's team, Selangor, and Super League champions Johor Darul Takzim. However, Selangor withdrew from the match, citing a series of criminal incidents and recent threats. Despite this, the league commenced the following day under heavy security.
Enrollment for the Maritime Studies program at University Technology Sarawak UTS, known as the Laila Type UTS campus in MUKAH, will commence this year. Sarawak Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai, invites Sarawakian youth interested in pursuing this field to register.
Kita mempunyai satu coastal area yang paling luas, paling luas. Bukan saja luas, tapi banyak dari segi khazanah di situ. Bukan saja dari segi sumber ekonomi, tetapi juga mungkin dari segi ekonomi kita tahu dari segi minyak, tapi dari segi hasil laut itu yang perlu kita terokai.
Dr. Anwar, who is also the chairman of UTS, explained that Sarawak's marine resources remain largely untapped, requiring skilled human resources in this field.
Perlunya ada sebuah kampus yang telah ditubuhkan oleh Kerajaan Sarawak yang akan dikenalikan oleh UTS.
He made these remarks following a courtesy visit together with the UTS boards of directors and senior management to the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, at the Astana Negeri on Thursday. The visit's purpose was to present an appointment letter to Tun Pehin Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi, appointing him as the second Chancellor of UTS, effective June 12, 2024, for a 5-year term.
Children's literature is recognized for its significant and profound impact across various aspects. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian highlighted its influence in 3 key areas.
First, by the message in the books, sustainability, health and social rights are large and complex issues, and it's refreshing to see them approached from this angle. The second is by strengthening their reading skills. Reading is the portal to a wider world, to educate, progress and participation in the scientific, political and cultural efforts moving our country forward. The third impact on children's literature is the bond it creates.
He read the text speech of Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Aman Johari Tun Openg during the launch of the Let's Talk About It, Sustainability, Health and Social Issues Through Children's Literature program earlier today. Dr. Sim, who is also Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, said the children's involvement in literature will expose them to many aspects of life, including democracy.
And by reading stories featuring diverse characters of different cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives, children develop the empathy, compassion, and understanding upon which our democracy relies.
At the same time, he lauded the Swedish Embassy's initiative to organize the event with the help of several global organizations, including AstraZeneca. During the event, Dr. Sim also witnessed the exchange of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between AstraZeneca and Malaysia Rare Disorder Society MRDS. A total of 110 million ringgit has been allocated to the Unit for Other Religions, UNI4, in 2024 for the construction of churches and temples all over Sarawak. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian highlighted that 20 million ringgit of the funding will be set aside for the development of religious schools.
He announced on his Facebook page that since 2017, over 400 million ringgit has been channeled to UNI4 to assist in building and repairing infrastructure of places of worship in this region. Under the second phase of the Unifor grant, he said a total of 40.87 million ringgit will be allocated to 91 churches and temples through 42 state assemblymen and members of parliament. Dr. Sim mentioned that last year, 32 churches and temples received a grant totaling 14.335 million ringgit from Unifor under Phase 1. Meanwhile, he said the 74 million ringgit Unifor building owned by the charitable body Unifor CT is expected to be completed by October 2024. Revenue from rental and license concessions will support the charity in carrying out charitable work in temples and churches. On Wednesday, a Unifor CT meeting took place at Wisma Bapa Malaysia, presided over by Sarawak's Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Embas, who oversees Unifor affairs.
Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan led a delegation to the Toronto and Region Conservation Authority TRCA in Canada. The visit aims to benchmark best practices for the conservation and rehabilitation of former sand and gravel mining sites.
The Toronto and Region Conservation Authority, TRCA, is responsible for conservation and restoration of ecosystems to protect and restore the Toronto watershed. TRCA employs an integrated approach by implementing low-impact development projects such as conservation parks, sport facilities, and recreational areas through public-private partnerships. Since 1957, the TRCA has worked to enhance Ontario's natural environment and protect land, water, and protect communities from the effects of flooding and increasingly extreme weather events. Meanwhile, TRCA expressed admiration for Sarawak's conservation and rehabilitation plans shared during the engagement session and showed interest in collaborating on the implementation of these plans. Also present was Sarawak's Deputy Minister of Natural Resources and Urban Development, Datuk Len Talif Saleh, and Deputy Minister in the Sarawak's Premier's Department, Law, MS63 and State Federal Relations, Datuk Sharifah Hasida Said Ahmad Ghazali.
The development of roads using the elevated highway concept will be implemented based on specific needs, particularly in areas with peat soil, which is known for its soft and unstable structure. Works Minister Dato' Sri Alexander Nantalingi explained that adopting this concept will provide a robust foundation for the roads, thereby reducing maintenance costs after the projects are completed. He noted that traditional road construction methods may not be appropriate for the soil structure and conditions in these areas, often leading to frequent road damage.
Jadi panggil viaduct lah, overland bridge, di mana pilot-pilotnya adalah lebih kukuh kerana foundation dia lebih kukuh, ya. Jadi itu bezanya. Sebab itu di tanah gambut mungkin lebih mudah dibina dan dari segi maintenance-nya nanti itu lebih memberi manfaat kerana kita mengurangkan dalam segi isu maintenance. Sebab dia mungkin kita tak mudah retak atau pecah ataupun dia uneven surface nanti. Kerana tanah gambut ni memang susah kita dah kawal.
He said this at the press conference after witnessing the handover ceremony of the Prima Medical Centre of University Malaysia Sarawak, UNIMAS, to the Ministry of Higher Education on Wednesday. However, Nanta stressed the necessity of comprehensive and detailed studies at each site before commencing any road construction to ensure project suitability and safety. He emphasized that the decision to implement elevated highways in peat soil areas is complex and depends on specific factors dictated by project requirements in the respective areas. Previously, Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg announced the Sarawak government's intention to construct elevated highways on peat soil to enhance comfort for road users. He cited lessons learned from previous road projects in the region, particularly the Asajaya Kota Semarahan route, which still fails to meet user comfort despite being built on peat soil.
Proton Holdings Berhad has publicly apologized for mislabeling the states of Sabah and Sarawak during the launch presentation of its first electric vehicle EV. In a statement posted on their Facebook page, Proton acknowledged the mistake that led to the incorrect labeling of the two East Malaysian states. The company assured that it will exercise greater caution in future projects to avoid similar errors. The error occurred during yesterday's launch event when a map displayed in the presentation slide incorrectly swapped the labels of Sabah and Sarawak. Meanwhile, the mistake caught the attention of netizens and even drew criticism from Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian. He voiced his disappointment that even after 60 years since Malaysia's formation, major corporations in the country still do not grasp basic facts. This situation, according to him, raises concerns about the awareness among ordinary Malaysians and underscores the knowledge gap regarding Sabah and Sarawak. Hello there and welcome back. Now, the government is committed to fostering continuous collaboration in the production of creative works to invigorate and nurture the local creative industry. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim emphasized that artists must be granted the freedom to create art that is authentic and not agenda-driven.
Dengan saya percaya kalau penyemarakkan dan penyembuhan seni harus memberi ruang yang lebih bebas. Kalau ceritanya itu propaganda, itu membosankan. Tapi kalau ceritanya itu memberikan, memaparkan kelemahan dalam salah satu pasukan, tapi juga ada kekuatan bahwa dunia ini dan Malaysia tidak kurang dengan orang-orang yang akan mempertahankan integriti.
He said this after attending a special screening of the film Sheriff Narco, organized by the Enforcement Agency Integrity Commission EAIC and Scott Production in Putrajaya on Wednesday. According to him, the film highlights both the weaknesses and strengths of an organization in its efforts to uphold integrity, particularly within an enforcement team. Furthermore, he said the film's storytelling is impactful and he expressed pride in the quality of the film produced by local talents. After 192 days, the investigation into the murder case of 6-year-old autistic child Zain Ryan Abdul Mateen, which captured nationwide attention and led to both his parents being charged at the Petaling Jaya Sessions Court today. Zaim Ikhwan Zahari and Ismanir Abdul Manaf, both 29 years old, pleaded not guilty to a charge of neglecting the child in a manner that could have potentially caused him physical injury in December last year.
The court set bail at 10,000 ringgit each, with one surety, and scheduled the next hearing for July 26. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Datuk Seri Suhaili Muhammad Zain stated that Section 31(1)(a) of the Child Act 2001 was one of the preferred charges brought by the D5 Division, Prosecution and Law of the Bukit Aman CID to the Public Prosecutor, alongside charges under Section 302 of the Penal Code. He said police used all the provisions within their jurisdiction in investigating the case, including blocking communication between the victim's parents and their lawyers during their remand period since June 1st.
2 men were arrested in Kampong Sompol Dangi, Johor for possessing 1.07 kilograms of heroin and 25.4 grams of shabu, with a total value exceeding 41,000 ringgit. Kuala Pilah District Police Chief Superintendent Amran Muhammad Ghani reported that the suspects, aged 38 and 41, were apprehended by a team from the Narcotics Crime Investigation Division at 1:30 a.m. He said that intelligence information revealed the suspects were traveling separately by motorcycle from Johor to Pahang, believed to be intending to distribute the drugs. The 2 suspects are from Johor and stopped by at a relative's house in a village because the headlight of one of the motorcycles was damaged. Subsequently, the police arrested the men and found packages of heroin and shabu in their bags. Amran said both suspects tested positive for morphine and the case is being investigated under sections 39B, 39 and 15(1)(a) of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. The suspects' motorcycles, worth 20,000 ringgit, were also seized. Amran added that police had successfully curbed various drug distribution activities in the district, amounting to 70,674 ringgit from January to May. Malaysians need not be overly concerned about their safety when traveling to Thailand, as authorities have tightened security measures following several bomb explosions. Acknowledging Thailand as one of the most preferred travel destinations for Malaysians, Narathiwat Province Governor Takul Totam stated that Thai authorities have increased security across 5 southern provinces, including Narathiwat, Yala, Pattani, Songkhla and Hatyai. Speaking to the media, Trakul said Thai authorities had also implemented several roadblocks to assure the safety of international tourists. However, he advised Malaysians to always take personal safety precautions and carry important documents when traveling to Thailand. Thailand is known for its culinary delights, making it a popular destination for Malaysian food enthusiasts. The Sungai Golok Rantau Panjang, located at the Malaysia-Thailand border, is busy, especially on weekends. Extending a warm welcome to Malaysians to explore Thailand's diverse tourist attractions, Trakul said those driving into Thailand should always follow the law. Hundreds of thousands of Muslims have journeyed to the holy city of Mecca for this year's Hajj pilgrimage, set against the backdrop of the Gaza conflict. One of the world's largest annual religious gatherings officially begins on Friday, with Saudi officials striving to maintain a focus on prayer and spirituality. The Gulf Kingdom's minister in charge of religious pilgrimages, Taufik al-Rabiah, warned last week that no political activity will be tolerated. The Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, must be performed at least once by all Muslims with the means. The official Saudi press agency reported that as of late Monday, around 1.5 million pilgrims had arrived in Saudi Arabia from abroad, most of them by air. According to official figures, last year saw more than 1.8 million people complete the Hajj rites, which lasts for several days. The annual Hajj pilgrimage, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, will start on Friday, with well over 1 million Muslims from around the world expected to take part. Europe's major stock markets fell at the start of trading on Thursday following indications from the US Federal Reserve that only one interest rate cut is likely this year due to persistent inflation. London's FTSE 100 index dropped by 0.2% to 8,199.00 points. In the Eurozone, the Paris CAC 40 index decreased by 0.2% to 7,851.26 points. Meanwhile, Frankfurt DAX declined by 0.2% to 18,596.12 points. Wrapping up the Nightline, K-pop megastar Jin from BTS completed over 500 days of mandatory military services in South Korea on Wednesday, shedding tears of joy as his bandmates welcomed him with warm embraces. One member celebrated the occasion by playing a popular BTS song on the saxophone. Since 2022, all 7 members of the world's most renowned boy band have been on a self-imposed break to fulfill South Korea's compulsory military services. And this requirement is enforced on all men under 30 due to ongoing tensions with nuclear-armed North Korea.
Jin, the oldest in the group and the first to enlist, emerged from the gates of his army base in South Korea's northern Yeoncheon County early Wednesday, where he was met by bandmates J-Hope, V, RM, Jungkook, and Jinmin. The K-pop stars, who have reportedly taken leave from duties to mark the day, presented a beaming Jin still in his military uniform with a giant bouquet of flowers as they all hugged while RM played the saxophone, blasting out the hook of BTS mega hit Dynamite. Fans had hung colorful banners outside the base, with one reading, "Sojin, you did so well for the last 548 days. We'll stand by you with our unwavering love," referring to the singer by his full first name. Fans had been urged not to show up, and there were only a couple of admirers present early Wednesday outside the base. His release comes just ahead of the 11th anniversary of the group's debut, with the agency Hype's office in Seoul, plus some local cafes decked out in purple decorations to mark the occasion. The next BTS member to finish will be J-Hope, who will be discharged in October. The rest of the band will complete their service in June 2025.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsrawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.